Alright, and welcome back to another Kuma Style review. I'm your host, TJ Duckett, and I'm very excited to go ahead and review Mastermind Creations' Night Morpher Commander series. This is their Airborne squad, and this is a limited edition figure. This is the Awakening version of that Seeker mode that they're going to be using for their Hearts of Steel line. As you can see, it's definitely in that more gray-black prototype color scheme, and from what I've read, it's supposed to represent the part in the comic or the canon where they're actually being awakened out of stasis and things like that. So I'm very excited to review this figure. If I do come off really excited, it's because I am. Honestly, after playing with this toy, it's easily my favorite third-party figure of the year so far. It's definitely one of those must-buy, amazing, just incredible everything molds. So alright, let's go ahead and get into the review itself. But before I do that, I want to zoom out a little bit. And one thing that Mastermind Creations, they were nice enough to include, I don't know if this is because of problems with the Cyclops figure or what, but they do give you a guidebook of, which points are kind of thin, breakable, what to watch out for, and things like that. I didn't have any problems, but read over this carefully, because even after, seeing it after the fact of transformation, I did realize every single thing that they point out here is pretty crucial in terms of being careful and things like that, because this is definitely a toy for the adult collector. And I'm not saying that other third-party figures aren't, but as I review this, I think you'll see that it is especially made for, more adult, more careful collectors, things like that. Not necessarily a display-only piece, but, got to be careful. Not one for the heavy-handed. In fact, if I break this during this review, I'll probably take a couple of days off of posting, collecting, and everything, because I'll want to cry and scream. But anyway, this is the alternate mode, as you can see, since it looks nothing like a robot, but definitely more of a steampunk style, Wright Brothers, nor, I guess, I don't know what to call it, but it's definitely a creative take on the more original styled airplanes and aircraft carriers. Okay? So just continuing to rotate it around there. Don't want to get in the way of the light or anything like that either. One thing that stands out is the insane amount of detailing on this. Just looking at this here, top to bottom, whether it's little rivets, indents, and things like that, it's definitely just detailed to the T. There's not a point on here that's just flat or unfinished feeling in the sense of being unproduced or looked over. I mean, this is sweet stuff. Like I said, just take a moment to take a look at this. I mean, wow. Can you imagine what this is going to look like when the Screamer, Warper, and I believe Boomer is the other one, or Stormer, when those come out painted? This is gonna be insane. So yeah, and full rotation on the rotors and things like that. Now, you'll see here he does come with the turrets on the part that are the arms here, but I'll show you when he's in robot mode. This one, since it's kind of a special sneak peek at the Seekers, it also comes with the different kind of cannons that are going to come with Warper and Stormer as well. So alright, let's go ahead, zoom out here a little bit. I'm actually going to bring the camera down some. Sorry for the shakiness, but it's on a rotor of sorts. And let's go ahead and get this transformed. Okay. And even though I'm going to try to be timely about this, I'm definitely being careful, so don't take for granted anything that I'm doing and think that it's just fly by if this ends up being pretty quick. Okay. Okay, let me make sure that he is still in view here. Alright. These arms just unclip right there, and those go down for flaps. I forgot to unclip this forearm part and bring it down to the flap, but it just comes off. These double as blades, so it's not that huge of a deal if they come off during the transformation. Like, actually, it's no deal at all. But, alright, I'll go ahead and rotate this, clip that in, bring the feet up. Yeah, it's definitely a ton easier to get into bot mode than it is to get into alt mode. So be sure to be humble enough to read the instructions, because this is not one that you can really see. Even though in the pictures you can kind of tell from the outcome, the major points of the transformation, there are just so many little intricacies to it that it's insane. Alright. And just because of weightlifting and stuff like that, I don't normally keep super long fingernails or really any nails at all. Not a nail biter or anything like that, but reviewing has definitely made me have to grow my nails out a bit, just so I can get into these crevices without having to grab for a screwdriver or something like that every time I want to do something. Now, I did forget part of it. Let me make sure that I've still got everything in view. Alright, on this back part, I just forgot to flip the fin all the way up. Okay. So that this can go back. The wings can go back as much as possible. Alright, there we go. Actually, let me put his head back down and put this back in place. There we go. Perfect. Alright. And clip these so that I can actually get this down. There we go. Now he's looking like the seeker that he's supposed to look like. Okay. And actually I got to get this the side guard pegged back in. Alright, and boom. We have their Hearts of Steel Seeker mode, or robot mode. So let's go ahead and bring the camera up some. And sorry if this is boring or anything like that in terms of me taking some time to actually transform it and stuff, but at the same time I do just want to show the details of this because it really is nice. Definitely is. So zooming out a little bit more. There we go. Alright, and I'll go ahead and I will peg the guns back in. Like so. Alright, and there we go. We have the Airborne Awakening figure in robot mode. So let's go ahead and next we'll take a look at the robot mode itself after I get these shoulder pads up like they're supposed to be. Yay! Alright, and here we are with the robot mode. Go ahead and take a look at it from all angles. Take a look at the sides here. Very sleek. I mean, this thing just rocks. There's the back, and I love the heel support and everything like that. Okay. And alright. I know for me personally, one of the things I always want to know is how big is it? So, from head to toe, you're looking at about 6¼ 6½ inches. His legs are a little bit spread, so I'm giving him some leeway there. But it's going to be between 6¼ 6½. So definitely a good, awesome size figure. And alright, like I'd said, one thing that this does come with is the alternate guns for the Warper and Stormer figures. The mass release of the regular Seekers, they're each going to come with one style. So it's nice to have all three in this one to kind of mix and match and things like that. So alright, I'm going to go ahead and zoom in to the side of his arm so that you can see how some of the other guns look. Okay, and let's get in focus there. Get some good light on it. Alright, what you have here is going to be, I believe it's Screecher. That's going to be the name of the Starscream figure. So give me one moment. Alright, I'm just going to pop this off of the peg. And I'll tell you what, this actually has multiple pegs. It has 2 mail-ins on here, 1 mail-in on here to give it extra support. That's how detail and just tightness oriented they were. So this is the one that comes with, take a look real quick. This is going to be Warper's gun. Take a look at that. Okay. And this actually turns. Oops. Jeez, these wings are pretty darn big. But that actually turns forward. Okay. And now we'll look at Stormers. Get that put on there. And get that turned frontwards. So that you can just see the variants in the weapons and stuff like that. And it's nice that they are, you know, including these little different things and stuff like that for the 3 different Seekers. Because even though they're the same mold and they're supposed to be twins of sorts or triplets, it's nice to have little things that differentiate them besides the colors. So I do like the barrels of Screeches the best though. So, and of course I just went ahead and popped that hip piece off again because I'm awesome. Alright, so let's zoom out a little bit. And you know what? Since the hip piece is off, I'm going to go ahead and take the other hip piece off. And show you why they come off. So, I'll go ahead and zoom in here. Actually get some focus on that. Oops. Okay. And they kind of just slide up and down. So they're so intricate and there's a lot going on. And my fingers aren't huge, but they're not small. So it's kind of hard to get in there for me. But yeah, alright. We got that popped off. Zoom back off. Alright. What you have here is a hip plateless Starscream. So if you don't want him to have that cape look, that's great. I do like his turrets at all times, though. I'm not going to lie, those are just cool. But, alright, so if you want that, show his face here. But, now, what to do with the hip guards. And we can just put them on to his, plug him into his hands here. And he does have standard 5mm grips. So, you know, most classic styled Transformers weapons, he'll be able to use just fine and hold. But, we can take those and boom, now he has blades. I'm big on weapons, I'm big on storage, and the fact that this figure is able to have so much storage pretty much for everything on him. There's no just kibble that has to lay to the side and things like that. As well as, I guess, great use of weapons too. I mean, it's just awesome. He's one of those figures that's just plain awesome to, I guess, admire. So as you can see here, he's got the ninja mode thing going. And I love it. It just gives a versatility to him. And you can see that he has that sleek, more broad shoulder, thin waist design. So you can definitely see him doing more of the ninja acrobatic style moves and things like that. I mean, he's just incredible. Just incredible. But I also wanted to show off his face sculpt here too. So let me get a good zoom into the face. And you can see that they definitely weren't slacking in that area. I'm going to move the lights a little bit to highlight that. And let me see if I can't get an extra light here to show off some of that light piping that he has in his eyes. Because he definitely does have some. Let me see if Laura in the camera will show that off a little bit better for me. There we go. That a boy. Yeah, you guys can see it. See what I'm saying? It's just awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm like, I've got to take a picture of this exact same viewpoint now, but still, that you can tell just the amount of detail and things like that they put into this figure is insane. And just in robot mode, I want to go ahead and take a look at some of the detailing. So I'm going to stay zoomed in just this much, but bring the camera down some. Just so you guys can see, you know, all the stuff that he has going on. Like I said, not 1 millimeter of this guy is left to be desired. And just so many moving, articulated parts. Man. And he's just full of ratchet joints and strong swivels and things like that. He's not only like great looking, he is just sturdy. That is a great way to describe him. He is sturdy. So, yeah, like I said, definitely just an awesomely detailed figure. But what's detail if you can't really show him off? And I want to take a moment to look at his articulation and things like that, because I'm sure you could tell from even this pose that he's got a lot of posability and a lot of balance, but let's showcase this guy. And this is big on me. I'm not trying to play the compare and contrast game, but coming from reviewing the TFC Photron figures, which were really lacking in articulation, to this, it's like heaven on earth. So, yeah, but let's take a look. Alright, we'll start with his head. Get focus there. His head is definitely on a ball joint. And good space in between his backpack and that. Because he can even look up and things, you know? Really cool, really good poses and stuff. And I look forward to showing that off in some of the pictures that go along with this review too. Alright, so zooming out, going to his shoulder, full articulation in the shoulders, bicep swivel, strong elbows, and articulated wrist. You guys are able to see that? So that's just awesome. Okay, moving to his waist. Full 360 degree swivel on the waist. Full ratchet in thighs with 360 degrees of rotation. Thigh swivel right at the thigh. Full knee bend. Alright? And of course he has the heels that move up and down, as well as feet on ball joints, which move in and out, up and down. Just, yeah. There's not a pose that you can't put this figure in and have him balance out. It is incredible. Incredible. So, alright, let's go ahead and take a moment to just put him in a cool pose right now. I'm not gonna lie, I have a big bias towards these swords as his weapons, because that's just cool. Alright. Just that. Thank you for bearing with me while I pose a figure. And sorry if it's annoying, but I never really plan these out beforewards, what I'm going to do. I kind of just think of them on the fly. But okay, we'll put them into a full running pose. We'll use that neck swivel there. Alright, like I said, his movement in the feet just really help him be able to hit some of these. And I'll bring his arm back. And yeah, let's zoom in a bit. Get some good focus there. And there we go. I mean, it's one of those ones to where he comes with articulation that I'm not even used to. I mean, most figures would fall over trying to put him in poses like this. And this one just masters them. So alright, let's go ahead and take a look at him and how he looks with other figures. It's kind of unfair because he is unpainted at the moment. But you can get a general sense of, I guess, at least size and things like that to compare them. So we'll look at, give me 1 second here. So walk him over here. The Hearts of Steel, Optimus Prime, why not? They're in the same line, by the same company. Get his head turned there for you. Yeah. And for more of a, I guess, blocky figure, I'm not gonna lie, Night Morpher Commander's great too. Alright. His legs are annoying me here. I'm sorry to be such a punk about how they're standing and stuff. I know it's not huge or doesn't really matter, but showing him off here. Alright. But as you can see, yeah, he stands up well. And there's a good size discrepancy between him and Optimus Prime here. So that's great. Now let's say you wanted to display him in a Classics collection. Switch him out. Not Optimus Prime, but same mold. Definitely not too far off in size there either. Alright, and now that we've put those away, I'm going to bring my man back here to center stage and give some final thoughts on this figure. Honestly, this is one of the few that is just a 12 out of 10 on all levels. When it comes to posability, when it comes to creativity, when it comes to detail, this figure is absolutely insane. If anything, you know, I'm known as a fans project, groupie, fanboy, whatever you want to call it. But this figure definitely took me by surprise in a very good way. I'm glad to see another figure do that, you know? By another company. I do own all of Mastermind Creations' releases so far, and I'm proud to, but this one just takes it to a whole nother level. To see this amount of detailing and this size of a figure, with this kind of articulation, and not have it just be a flimsy mess, because the plastic quality is great as well. This is a must buy. Buy it, thank me later. And speaking of thanks, the reviewer, Pio, definitely him, as well as a friend of mine, Ian Reed, or Hard Returned on the message boards and stuff like that. They were both people who were influential towards me getting this, just to check out the mold and stuff like that, rather than waiting for the mainstream releases of the Painted Seekers. And yeah, I don't regret it one bit at all. I almost want to buy a couple of more of these just to have like maybe drones or something like that for the 3 main Seekers, you know? Almost like the Viacons in Prime. They are that good. The figure's beautiful top to bottom. Great plastic quality. Great articulation. Great durability if you play with it like an adult. This is one of those ones to where the plastic's not thin or anything like that, but it does have a lot of sharp points. It does have a lot of moving pieces. It does have a lot of things that'll break if you're heavy-handed or if you're trying to rush. Don't do it. This isn't the figure for you if you're that kind of collector. Period. But on the other hand, even if you are that kind of collector, buy it in change. Treat it like it's something that's worth it. Treat it like it's something that's gold, like you're never going to have again. Because honestly, this is the type of toy that, as a Transformers collector especially, you dream of. Seriously. This is beautiful. This is amazing. And honestly, I am beyond impressed. I am floored by the quality of this figure on every level. So I think it's beyond a pass for me. If you haven't gotten the point yet, even when I've said it, buy it now. This is TJ Duckett signing out. Thank you for watching, and thank you Mastermind Creations for making this figure. It is fantastic. Have a great one, guys, and see you next time.